What? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I thought I was supposed to be watching a football game. What's going on, Who That Nation? It is yours truly, TJ Jones, the host of the State of the Saints podcast. Thank you so much for checking out the State of the Saints podcast, where we talk New Orleans Saints. And look, this is the post game show for the week 2 matchup: Saints versus the Packers. The Saints get the another loss in preseason, 20-10. Who That Nation? This is not going to be a long show at all, man. This is not going to be a long show. It's not even worth your time. It's Friday. It's 11:09 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm extremely tired, and this game really truly kind of took me out. Was not very good. I mean, this was a terrible game, and this is one of the main reasons why I hate preseason. I'm just not a fan of preseason. Not a fan. It's just a waste of time. And this is one of the main reasons why. I mean, looking at this game, it was terrible, man. It was like watching paint dry. It was like watching the grass grow. But this is what I'm gonna do. This is what I'm gonna do, man. I'm gonna read off these stats, and then I'm gonna talk about the positive and the negative, and then I'll take a few phone calls, and then we're gonna call it a night. All right. I mean, it's not gonna be a long show at all. It's not even worth it. It's not even worth it. Let's go ahead and look at the Saints stats. Ian Book, 16 of 28, 113 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick, and yet again had a lost fumble. Ian Book also had 7 carries for 49 yards. Devon Zigbo had a better showing, averaging 5.7 yards a carry, 7 carries for 40 yards. Abram Smith kind of regressed in this game, 9 carries for 25 yards. Tony Jones Jr., the best running back in preseason history, 4 carries for 19 yards. We also seen Chris Olave, man, catch a 20-yard touchdown, had his very first NFL touchdown. That was pretty cool and athletic. He had 2 catches for 28 yards. Tony Jones, 3 catches for 20 yards, including a screenplay that probably would have ended in a touchdown if Cesar Ruiz didn't, get pushed into him. Kevin White had 1 catch for 18 yards. Quan Baker, 2 catches for 13 yards. Then you have John Bostic, who just joined the team. He led the team in tackles with 6. He also had a fumble. He also had a fumble recovery and a pass deflection. So this was a good showing for John Bostic. So real positive things. Taco Charlton had 4 tackles and a sack. So that's pretty much it, man. I mean, you had a couple more guys that made some tackles. What stood out in this game was the special teams. Kirk Merritt looked really good on special teams. He had 2 really good special teams plays. One he muffed, but he ended up turning into something positive, and then he was able to flip the field on 1 kick return. Other than that, Trevor Penning. I will say this. I want to know where all the Trevor Penning haters at tonight. The ones that's been in the chat talking about the dude ain't got it and he ain't gonna be good. I want to see where those people at tonight because there was definitely a change from week 1 to week 2. So that's the main reason why you got to tell people to be patient when it comes to the offensive linemen. But for some apparent reason, you got Saint fans out here. If a dude ain't Larry Allen overnight, coming off the bus, automatically he just slow. But he had a better showing tonight. I'm pretty sure he's going to grade much better than he did last week, and he graded good last week. So that's all we can ask for is for improvement. Chris Olave looked incredible. I mean, there was a couple plays he could have actually made. My biggest issue is I don't understand why the New Orleans Saints. I understand you playing vanilla offense, but why isn't anything being pushed downfield? I could talk about Ian Book, but I don't think we have enough time. I mean, I know he just buying his time. He just putting enough stuff on tape so he can send to your local USFL organization or XFL organization because there's no way in hell this dude making a team. It was times where guys were open. It was times where, I'm saying, he just did not make the play. It was sometimes where guys didn't help him, but at the same time, he just not it. He showed grit towards the end of the game, trying to fight and stuff like that and scratch and claw. But I just feel like it was just too little too late. Just get this dude off my TV, get this dude off my field, get this preseason off my field, and let's try focusing on some football that actually matters. Half of these guys that played tonight probably going to end up working at Amazon or working at 24-hour fitness or something. Like, this was a big waste of time. I didn't learn anything from any other guy. I don't feel like any dude took a step forward. I am just as lost and confused as far as this roster as I was last week. Nobody helped their case at all. All right, at all. Trevor Penning improved, but he was going to make the team. Chris Olave caught a touchdown. He was going to make the team. The rest of these guys, they were just out there. I mean, this was basically 3 hours of my life I wish I had back. I could have been doing something that was constructive. And once again, the Saints tried to drive down the field. They got down to the goal line. They couldn't get into the end zone. Lucas Kroll had a touchdown, but they say it was offensive pass interference. And on brand, a guy named Romo chokes away an opportunity to try to cut a lead close in a full quarter. Tell me if you ever heard that story before. A guy named Romo can't come through in the full quarter. But anyway, I'm open up the phone lines, man. Let's go ahead and talk about this. I'll take some calls. And then we'll just end the show like this, man. It's not even worth our time, to be honest. Y'all can be doing something else with your Friday night. It's not that you can't learn something and these reps aren't important. It's just the fact that it was just a waste of time, man. I mean, it was sloppy football, penalties galore, and I don't know, man. They didn't. Nobody of any merit, no pun intended, really did. I mean, played in this game besides Olave and Penning. You know what I'm saying? You had a couple guys that just joined the team and trying to help their case, but everybody else, they were just out there, man. It was just out there. It was just a bunch of crash test dummies because none of these guys are going to really make the team, to be honest. But I'm open up the phone lines. I'm gonna take a few calls. I asked everybody to call in. Just keep your comments short so we can just move on swiftly, so we all can go on with our lives and go to sleep somewhere, go read a book, or go catch up on our favorite shows or something. I mean, whatever. We're gonna go to God of Creation. How you doing, man?
Good. How you?
I'm doing all right, man. What you thought about the game, or what you got to say, man?
To be honest, I didn't see too much of it because I was, hopping back and forth doing stuff, busy with other stuff. But I'm
Hey,
glad. Hey,
yeah.
you said you could have done something constructive, and by that comment, hey, that's all I need to know because
Bro, trash, man. If I God of Creation, if I didn't say last night I was gonna do a show, I wouldn't even be on here right now. I'm serious. It was the biggest waste of time ever. Like, seriously, I
was
watched
it
a lot
worse
of
than last
preseason.
game?
Yes,
Oh
yes,
my god!
like 100 times worse. Like 100 times. Like,
Oh
at least they got interested towards the end of the game, and
my.
and you was and but bro, it wasn't worth. It was not worth it. If you had something to do tonight, it this was the night to do it. Seriously, it was some bad football, man. Terrible.
Right.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, man. I know you're not lying when you say you just basically out there just to see the uniform, and that's it. Just see your guy, some guys in in our uniform, man. That's it. Cause
That's it.
like you said, ain't nobody really playing that special besides Penning. Like you said, he was gonna make the team regardless.
Yeah.
And Chris Olave, he was gonna make the team regardless.
Right.
So it's like you, like you said, you gonna somebody gonna see their next door neighbor that was playing in the Saints uniform.
Man, you ain't lying. That's about it, man. This is one of those games, God of creation. Is like, you know what I'm saying? Dudes just playing in this game so their mama can see them on TV. That's what it is. Like, mama, I was here. Mama, I was, you know, like that. That's what this game was all about, man. A straight snooze fest. But
How's the running? How the running game?
man, it improved. It was much better than last week. Tony Jones Jr. He played good last week. He played good this week. Devon Ozigbo probably played better. You know, he ran harder. Man, I mean, he started the game. He was doing some tap dancing, man. He just did too much tap dancing for me. But then all of a sudden, like, he just seemed like he just, you know, took the ball and he just, you know what I'm saying, ran through the hole, and he averaged 5.7 yards a carry. So I mean, he helped this cause, but I still don't think he's gonna make the team. If I would say anybody helped themselves, it was Tony Jones Jr. with his contributions on special teams and the way he ran the football. But like I said, anybody that's on the bubble or anybody that you feel like, man, what about him? What about him? Nobody helped their cause tonight. Every player that contribute tonight, you pretty much knew they was good enough to make the team. Seriously. Every last one of them. So I mean,
not even that linebacker. What was his name? That did good last game.
Chase Hansen. He ain't do nothing. I ain't seen nothing. Not anything of any merit. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't think so. I mean, he was out there.
Oh, that's bad.
And John Bostic, who they signed, he looked a lot better. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, he looked good. He had 6 tackles. He had a fumble recovery, and he had a pass deflection. So I mean, he played pretty well. He had a stat line similar to what Chase Hansen had. You know, so that was a plus. But anybody,
did Turner play?
Huh?
Did Turner play?
Yeah, Peyton Turner played. He had
so one. Wait, so hold up. Peyton Turner not going crazy on these second, third string.
No. Man, this man was in the game late in the fourth quarter. Now he did make a play on a jet sweep. Like, you know what I'm saying? He blew up a play, you know, in the backfield. But besides that, I really didn't see anything. Taco Charlton, he had a sack. Tano Passanio, he was pretty disruptive. But besides that, man, that's about it, man. You got anything else to add far as the you know what I'm saying, far as the team is concerned? Or
no, like you said, man. So I'm just glad I ain't waste my time like you. I feel bad for you. I wish you could get them 3 hours back.
Man, hey, I'm about to gain them 3 hours when I end this show and go to sleep though. So it's all good. but God of creation, man. Hopefully, you know, next time you call, man, we have something worth talking about and we can chop it up. And you know, I mean, the season is about to start. That's probably
for
real.
real.
We only got one more game left. But man, you have a good night, man, and you enjoy the rest of your night.
You too. Thank you.
All right. Yeah, man, it ain't even worth it, man. Got 180 people watching this live right now. I ask that you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and thank you. I appreciate that. Okay, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Let everybody know that you enjoy the State of Saints podcast and all the content. We're gonna go to Zach from Real Fan Sports podcast. Zach, how you doing, man?
Yo, what's good, TJ? How you doing today, man?
Man, I'm doing all right, man. We're talking about this snooze fest of a game that took place on tonight. What are your thoughts on that, man? The floor is yours.
I mean, there wasn't a whole lot. I think my biggest take was I was wanting to see a big kick by Will Lutz, and we got to see that big 59-yarder and just prove that we need him, especially after the backup missed that the chip shot, you know, late in the fourth. Yeah. Other than that, there wasn't a whole lot. You know, Fields did play well. I thought he was the only guy on the defense that really stood out a little bit to me. He had a couple of decent plays. But other than that, like you said, it was kind of a snooze fest, man. It was hard to stay entertained during it. That's for sure.
I mean, look, when Will Lutz kicked that field goal, I almost had a tear in my eye because, I mean, I just miss productive field goal kicking. Man, I say it like, Zach, when you watch a game and the high point of the game is special teams, it tells you everything that you need to know about the game. The special teams was the best part of the game. The 81-yard punt by Blake Gilligan.
I think that was the loudest I got during the whole entire game. Yeah. I think that was the loudest I got.
Yeah, in the 50-plus yard about Lutz. But I'm like, this game tonight taught me absolutely nothing. Like, seriously, absolutely nothing. You know how we be talking about these bubble players and, man, if he do this and if he do this, he can make the team. Like, nobody, in my opinion, really helped themselves. And I feel the same way about these guys as I did in week one. Nobody really helped themselves. Everybody was kind of stumbling all over themselves, missed opportunities, dropped passes, bad form, bad pass rushing skills. Yep. I mean, it was terrible. Bad technique in the secondary. I mean, bad quarterbacking. Yeah. I mean, this is like this was
like you said, only good was special teams. Only good was the special teams. I mean, I did like seeing Tony Jones out there. Like, I felt like he ran really hard. I thought he played a lot better than what he did last week. He definitely looked a lot more consistent. Right. I still wish they would have brought Abram Smith in a little bit earlier. And then even when they did bring him in, they ran up the middle every single time. There was no type of mix of plays to do a pass and get his run game open. It was just down the middle. I think it was 5 straight plays they ran up the middle with him, and never really gave that man a chance. But he also didn't do much to deserve more than what he got, except for I think that one set of downs where he was getting like 4 or 5 yards a piece, and that was it.
Yeah. I mean, all of them got the opportunity. I think, like I said, Devon Ozigbo played better than he did last week, but I mean that's not really saying much. And, right. That offensive line didn't help them at all. Like, that right side of the offensive line towards the end of the game.
Yeah.
Man, you did – like, it was like watching – you ever watch, like, one of them high school games and they got the band and the football team run through it? That's kind of like with the offensive line. That's the offensive line with the paper. Like, seriously, what if – look, on that right side, they could not do anything. Like, every single time – the Green Bay Packers pass rush was getting home, but it just took like Ian Book with some late game heroics. I guess he channeled his inner Trevor Siemian, you know what I'm saying, during his garbage time routine. But that right side was terrible. I mean, it wasn't anything they can possibly do, you know what I'm saying, as far as with the running game. If you running right, you doing a stretch play to the right, you ain't going nowhere. You can tackle in the backfield. So I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
it was the best thing though.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, about Ian Book, the show ain't long enough. We could talk to him on AM about how bad his play was, man. Just he would get out on the scramble, not keep his head upfield. He had Merritt wide open on certain situation. It just made me think all the times that he scrambled and wasn't throwing the ball, even though he had time. At first, I was like, oh, maybe no one's open. But after that play, I was like, I bet someone was open. He just wasn't looking, and that was upsetting, man.
Guys were open all night. Like, they had a play.
Right.
Well, you seen when they played when Kirk Merritt was waving his hand. Like, man,
he was jumping.
Then he had another play. Like, he was not like this is the thing. When you have a clean pocket, and in a few cases he did not wait for the play to develop. It was like that screen play. I want to say it was like on second down. As soon as he got the ball, he threw the ball to Abram Smith. I mean, right at the time, he wasn't even out of it. He wasn't even out of his break yet.
No,
he just threw the ball.
He was doing the same things last week. He put whether it was wide receiver or the running back, he put him in trouble every time he threw him the ball. He wasn't looking upfield. Like there was just there was so many mistakes with it, and like my biggest issue with it is not just Ian Book, is that it doesn't give the guys that are really fighting for those roster spots, trying to fit into that wide receiver core. It doesn't give them a fair chance, man. The big Merritt play we got was the return. Now he should have caught that over the shoulder pass. I know he had to extend out a little bit, but he should have caught that one. But other than that, we weren't able to see that. We saw Dixon, who was in good position, but balls were overthrown to him. We're not able to see anything being done to be able to successfully evaluate these wide receivers on whether or not they deserve a spot or what we want to do with them because of his play. Now the one question I really wanted to ask you before I get off is since we didn't see Dwayne Washington, you think that that's a seal for him for that third string spot?
Yeah. I don't think it's for the third string spot, but I think it's definitely for special teams. I mean, dude, like the dude was gonna make the team anyway. Right there was in the running game or it was with special teams. So look, I would be real. I would be real tonight. If if you was in this game, I don't think you're gonna make the team. Like seriously, because if you if you look around, I don't like if you went out of this game by the second quarter, I don't think you're gonna make the team. For the exception of the guys like Tano Passanio, like they gonna be in a rotation. But a lot of these guys, they ain't gonna make the team. I'm telling you, it was like a crash test dummy or a stunt man. You don't want the star to move it to get hurt, so you put the stunt man out. That's what these guys were. They were crash test dummies. I ain't about to, bad technique. I ain't about to go out here and risk my running back getting hurt or my wide receivers. But I do agree with you, Zach. When a quarterback is struggling and he's not allowing plays to develop, and you got guys that are on a bubble, I would be ticked off. And on how many plays actually went past 20 yards? Like
it wasn't a whole lot, man. It wasn't a whole lot. I think it was the screenplay, maybe one pass play. I don't even know that. And I don't know if that Ian Book run went above 20. It might have been those three.
Well, let me rephrase that. How many passes like down the field was like at least
there was only one that was past 20 yards and it wasn't completed. There's only one.
I don't know, man. I'm like, how are you giving these guys opportunities? Because here's the thing, man. Everybody, like a lot of the plays they were running, you got to be basically fundamentally sound when it comes to the route running. And if you battling right now, your route running ability is kind of raw. You ain't out here on some Jarvis Landry, Michael Thomas stuff. So I feel like you allowing these guys to go some deep posts or or some stretch, some street routes down the field or something. You need something like that. But I'm like, man, I don't know. It was terrible. Absolutely terrible. If I'm a wide receiver, I need 5 minutes with Ian Book, man, because I'm like, dude, I'm trying to get this money. I'm trying to make this team.
We might see some physicality during the practice this week.
Yeah, man. But hey, man, but I appreciate you, coming on the show. Let everybody know about your show, man, the Real Fans Sports podcast that you have available and all your information.
For sure, guys. Yeah, my name is Zach. Me and my other host, Nonfiction, we do a sports podcast where we cover all things sports. I'm a Saints fan. My host is a Raiders fan, but we cover all games. We do Monday and Thursday night football and just give our fanalists point of view on all things sports. Not analysts, but fanalists, because we are real fans, giving you our point of view of what we see and what we believe in, man. So, hey, TJ, I appreciate you. Thanks for having me on, man. Much love. I did try to message you about that mic on Twitter, so holler at me. I couldn't DM you, so holler at me.
I got you, man. As a matter of fact, hey, I think I might have something I can actually send to you, man. I'm actually looking at it right now. You know what I'm saying?
All right. Hey, hit me up, man. That sounds good.
I'll do that. Okay.
All right. Well, bless, man. Much love.
All right. Yeah, man. Because as soon as he started talking to me, because I was on Hoodie Juice show last night, and Zach was on there, and we was talking about like the microphone. I actually changed out my microphone. Some of y'all know if y'all been rocking with the show for a while, and I still got some equipment from the old microphone I have, but it's still like real good quality on that. So I might have some equipment I'll be able to send. Because, you know what I'm saying? Like anybody that's like trying to improve they show a podcast or something like that. I got something, you know what I'm saying? I definitely would be willing to help if I can. Borg, thank you very much for the $49.99, which is like one of the highest donations I think I ever had on this show. It says I was watching Penny the whole time he was in, and he looked so much better this week. Still has a lot of work on him, but there's was a massive improvement from last week to this week. I agree. I didn't care about anything else. I just wanted to focus on him. Shouts out to Trevor Penny dad, man, who showed me some love, man. I was talking about that. And before I get to Dalton, I just want all them haters that was on the show last night talking about Trevor Penny, talking about he ain't it, talking about he was a lost cause, so to speak, talking about he ain't ready for prime time, this, that, and the third. I just want these people to show up. That's it. That's all I'm saying, man. Don't throw the brick and hide your hand. Don't be afraid to come out of the woods. We all can be wrong sometimes. This is why you should not jump to conclusions. Like, if a guy just doesn't come off the bus with all pro qualities, some of y'all just be playing Madden with 99s too much, right? You know what I'm saying? You can actually edit your player and put him up to a 99. He can do everything you want him to do right away. You know what I'm saying? He the first rookie in history winning MVPs. Allow these guys to develop, man. Allow these guys to develop. People are prisoner of moment. People are just looking at what we had and what we replaced them with. But we not realizing the journey it took for guys like Armstead. You know what I'm saying? In order for him to be in that position. These guys don't get off the bus and just automatically just be fundamentally sound. You very rarely get offensive linemen like that. And if you do get offensive linemen like that, they probably going to be like the top 3 picks that's going off the board. When you got a guy like late in the middle of the first round, more than likely he has some flaws. So people just got to be patient, man. So quick to try to throw guys under the bus. So quick to try to, you know what I'm saying, say that a guy's a lost cause. Give a dude opportunity to develop. And also admit when you don't get it right. Don't just act like you ain't do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I say something that's wrong, I admit it. If somebody called me out on it, I admit it. Seriously, because, I mean, there's no way in the world you can really break a player down as soon as he get in the league. One game. After one game is absolutely ridiculous, man, and that's totally unfair. Totally unfair. I ask that you hit the like button. We got 298 people watching this right now as we go to Dalton. We just hit 300. Dalton, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good. How are you, TJ?
I'm doing all right, man. Thank you for calling, man. Thank you for staying up. You know, I know it could have been tough, man. This game right here was better than NyQuil. It was better than Unisom. You know what I'm saying? It could really put you to sleep. But what are your thoughts about this game and anything else you want to talk about?
Well, that game was pretty pathetic, in my opinion, with this whole book.
Oh man, yeah, terrible, man.
I mean, I did like the touchdown pass to Chris Olave, that somersault. I do admit that it was pretty awesome, though.
Yeah, that was athletic right there. That guy's a beast. Ian Book just ain't it, man. He just buying his time. He just out there. I just think they know that, you know, more than likely he just don't have it. They just want to make sure that Andy Dalton and Jameis Winston just well enough to go into the season. That's about it. I mean, there's nothing
like where's KJ at?
Oh yeah, that's why didn't KJ come into the game? I'm like, he had his helmet on. Why are you still out here trying to make Ian Book, like, you know, play the whole entire game? I mean, it's pretty obvious, you know, what you see is what you get.
Right.
You know? So.
And also, like, I don't know pronounce last name, Griffin, the 81-yard punt.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Blake Gillikin, 81-yard punt. Him flipping the field. That's such a weapon to have, Dalton. It's such a weapon because you're gonna need a guy like that. And him doing that outside, you know what I'm saying, the outside elements, that's a plus because you got at least 9 games every single year inside of the Superdome. So, I mean, inside of a dome stadium, if you count Mercedes-Benz Stadium with the Falcons. So having that as a weapon, and also you can take it outside in stadium games, that's a great weapon. And now you got Will Lutz, who has a real big leg, and we probably can get back to having some consistency in the kicking game as long as he stays healthy. That's a great thing. I came away from this game very impressed with the Saints special teams, and I'm even more impressed with it because the guy more than likely returning kicks didn't even do it tonight. It was somebody else. So, and they were still able to get down the field and block and make some plays. So that was good.
And when I watched that punt, I was like, that reminds me of that Matt Horizon, which I love the Bills. He did like a 82-yard punt against the Colts last week as well.
Yeah.
And also, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. You can go ahead, man. I ain't mean to cut you off.
No, that's my fault. By the way, They need to get rid of Traquan Smith. He's a sorry receiver, in my opinion.
I don't know. Look. I don't know if Traquan not going to make the team. I'm gonna tell you why, Dalton. Okay, so I was interviewing. Shouts out to my guy Jeff Nowak. If you're watching this right now, Jeff, man, shouts out to you. You did a great job today on WWL. But he made a good point. He said, Traquan Smith is not going to make this team because of the wide receiver skills. Because based on like 1, 2, and 3, you already know who your 1, 2, and 3 is. That's Olave, Landry, and Thomas, right? Those are your 3 guys. This guy right here, he's going to make the team because he can do like the dirty work. And it did show tonight because when it was a fumble, an interception, he ran the guy down and tackled him. You know what I'm saying? So that kind of grit right there and fight and scrap and stuff, that's the kind of stuff that keep you on a team, especially when you like the 4th or the 5th target, right? Those guys are mostly designed to be the blockers and do the dirty work in order to open up lanes for the playmakers to make plays. And you might get like 1 or 2 targets per game. Depends on if a play breakdown or something like that. So based on what the Saints will require him to do, I think he has a better chance more than any of these other guys. Unless like the Saints are evaluating another team and they see somebody else they feel like they can bring in that can do what Traquan does and a little bit more. That's the only way I can see him not making the team.
I was surprised with this how Kevin White caught the ball. I was like, what just happened?
Right. Well, I'll tell you what happened. They say, a squirrel, eventually get a nut every now and then. You know what I'm saying? Like, the fact is he was going across the middle against a linebacker. And, I mean, it was basically just a lob pass. So, obviously, if you can't catch that, then I don't know what to tell you. I mean, he caught one pass, but, then he celebrated like he just caught a touchdown for some apparent reason. But I would say act like you've been there before, but he never been there before. So, I mean, this was just one of them games, I guess.
Right.
You got anything else for me, man?
Oh, 2 things before I get off. Like Wednesday when I was trying to explain to you about this whole gadget thing,
Yeah.
My real opinion is like I'd rather keep a player as one position, like stick where they at. I'm not a big fan like wide receiver, running back, like Cordell Patterson, Deebo Samuel, Taysom Hill, all the gadget players. I would have one player to play one position. That's the reason why I'm not a big fan of gadget.
Right. I get it, but in the league, when you have a guy, like Taysom Hill, that's like a gadget guy, the guy that can do more things, it's a matchup issue because you don't know what the type of dynamic that he can bring. And if you notice, Dalton, if you start looking around the NFL, you got a lot of teams out here that's kind of mirroring that same type of offense, and they have that one guy. It's the reason why when the Saints drafted Tommy Stevens in the 6th round, Carolina tried to get him. And if you notice, when the Saints played Carolina the second time, Tommy Stevens was out there doing some things that Taysom Hill was doing. And you also see this on some of those teams where you have a guy, who can line up in the backfield and who can throw the football, who can do some of those things too. So Taysom Hill, I hate to tell you this, but Taysom Hill has carved out a lane for himself, and he also carved out a lane for guys that have a certain similar skill set. I mean, it's like in college, how you like have a guy that's an athlete, right? He don't have a defined position, right? He can just do so many different things. Taysom Hill has brought that to the NFL, and now you have teams out here trying to find a guy that can have that same skill set. But, I think that he's going to play primarily tight end this year. I didn't see anything tonight that I feel like, it's going to be some old, gadget plays or even him throwing a football. I think that he's going to primarily be a tight end. I think you're rarely going to see those type of plays where he's like lining up at quarterback like you would with Sean Payton, because I think that Dennis Allen wants him to be fully invested in being a tight end. So you might see him do a few things like maybe line up in the backfield, something like that, run the football, kind of like Cordell Patterson does. But I don't think that you're going to see him like throwing the football and doing some of the things he was doing as a quarterback. I think that Dennis Allen wants to get away from that.
Yeah, I agree. And also, like they've been asking a question though. Do you think the Saints will trade Zach Braun or should trade Zach Braun?
Well, I don't know if Zach Braun gonna make the team, Dalton, based on like what I'm seeing. I mean, did you see him tonight? I didn't.
Not at all.
If he was out, I mean, I'm pretty sure he was out there. I want to. Was he on the stat sheet? No, I don't even see him on the stat sheet. Was he on that? Okay, he had 2 tackles tonight. So, I mean, I don't know if he even gonna make the team. I mean, he might make it on special teams, but when you got guys out there like John Bostic and you got guys like Chase Hansen last week and they making more plays than you, that's not a good thing. So I'm always saying, like, why would a team want to trade for a guy that there's a possibility they can get him on the street in a couple weeks? So I think you might be able to. I don't know if you'll be able to get anything for him because I mean I don't think he has done anything in order for him to be on the team. Unless, like, I will say this, to be fair to Zach Braun, what the Saints are asking him to do, that's not how he played in college. He was a pass rusher. He was a guy that put his hand on the ground and rushed the quarterback, and the Saints wanted him to be a stand-up linebacker with cover skills, and that just wasn't his thing. So maybe, he could like go to another team where they would actually, utilize his strengths of being a pass rush, and maybe that can help him kind of save his career. But as of right now, the way the Saints are using him, for what we've seen in the small sample size we've seen Zach Braun, I don't know if any team would be willing to give you anything for him at this point.
The thing is, like, I don't think he fits with the Saints, my opinion.
Right. I agree.
And thank you for letting me talk on the show.
No problem, man. Dalton, thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. Always come with great takes, man, and I appreciate that.
Sure will. And who dat nation?
Yeah, man. Take it easy, man.
All right, you too.
All right. Shouts out to Dalton, man. Shouts out to Dalton. Shouts out to the Who Dat Nation out there. 333 people watching right now. Hit that like button. Hit that like button. If you are not subscribed to the channel, make sure that you subscribe. I'm sorry, I don't have as much enthusiasm as I normally do on the State of Saints podcast, but I mean, can you blame me? Can you blame me tonight? That's us as fans, TJ. Mistakes are that we know timing is everything on a player. We all crush a lot at times. Pennant ain't Ian Book. I joked on the training camp fight. He did good tonight. Yeah, I understand that. I understand. Look, I'm a Saints fan, okay? You know what I'm saying? I know I do podcasting and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? That's great. I love it. But I'm a fan. You know what I'm saying? Like, I grew up a Saints fan, and I want people to understand, like, my love for this team is just as much as any other Saints fan. But I do feel like sometimes, our emotions get the best of us because, and if you look around the landscape of the National Football League, you're watching teams like Tampa Bay, you're watching teams like the Bengals make it to the Super Bowl, snake-bitten franchises for the last 20 years making the Super Bowl before your team do. It does frustrate you, and you don't want to be in that position, and you just want to be able to find guys to be able to get you over the hump. But I ask that, just like any other situation, you have to be patient. You got to allow that thing to develop. And it's okay if guys aren't what you want them to be right at that particular time. If you start, like, you got to pay attention to the development. If is a guy changing, right? I know when people would probably say, what's the difference between Ian Book and Trevor Penning? I'm not seeing anything different from Ian Book. Like, I'm not seeing anything that in the opportunities that he had in preseason last year, the game against Miami, the 2 games that he played now, I'm not seeing any difference. I'm seeing a guy that's struggling with the same issues over and over again. So I don't feel bad about my take on him because I want to see some level of development. But I'm not going to just go out here and just say this after one game, after, one moment or something like that, or one series. Trevor Penning just got on the team. Like, the dude still got the Similac, the Infamil on his breath. The dude is a baby. You know what I'm saying? In the realms of the NFL, he has to learn how to develop. And I just think that people just need to give this guy an opportunity to develop. That's I think that's fair. You know, I mean, it's not like this dude has played 15, 16 games. This guy's played one game, okay? And then the second game, it was better than the first game. So that's all you can ask for, right? For a guy to get better. And he proved that he can be much better. So let's get a guy opportunity. And it's not like he played against the Jets or the Lions or something like that, going up against a pass rush. The Green Bay Packers have a really solid defense, especially with their defensive fronts. And this dude played a few of their starters that they had available on the line, and he still was able to make some things happen. So that's all you can ask for a guy to develop from week to week. Doug Marrone is a really good offensive line coach. He's a really good coach, and I think he's going to get the best out of these guys. But we as Saints fans, we have to be patient and don't allow our emotions to get the best of us where we jumping out the windows with erratic takes because we want this team to be successful. I mean, it takes time and it takes work. I'm going to go to Jules. Jules, how you doing, man?
I'm doing fine, TJ. How's everything, my brother?
Man, it's going all right, man.
Hey,
what you got for us?
I rushed home from work. I was like, man, I could go home and watch the fourth quarter of the Saints-Packers game. Got home. It might be garbage time or whatever. Man, but you know what disappointed me? Seeing like they had the game like on a small TV and had Aaron Rodgers like on big screen talking for like 5-10 minutes. Did you see that? I'm like, man, I missed the first half. Jameis Winston get to talk like that. I would never go to a preseason game. Never. Never.
I don't know, man. Maybe it's because
the fans were up there like they were like playing in the playoffs or something, man. I wouldn't have been there. And I'm not gonna hold you up. Yeah. And Book, he needs to go. He needs to go.
Oh no, man. He
needs to go. I've seen him, man.
It's good.
He was trying. He was running and stuff, trying to do his Lamar Jackson impression, but he was throwing them ducks again, and it looked like some of the Saints players were trying to tackle themselves. It's just preseason, bro. Don't worry about it, man. Everything's gonna be sloppy. But I appreciate you taking the time to go live tonight. I missed the show yesterday, man, and I got work. It's like TJ's probably going to go live tonight, so I'm going to go home and chill. All right, I'm not going to hold you up, man. I'm going to let you get to more callers and answer comments, man, but I appreciate it, bro.
All right, no problem, Jules, man. You take it easy, man. Thank you for calling in.
All right. Thanks for answering my call.
All right, no problem, man. Man, shouts out to Jules, man. He's a Baltimore Raven fan, as y'all can see, but, I mean, he's been supporting the show for a long time, man. So shouts out to the brother doing this thing. And hopefully, these Baltimore Ravens, have success this season. I mean, what they won, like 21 straight preseason games. Man, I hope they cut in. If anything happens to Jameis or Dalton, then we are done. I agree. What's the difference between Penny and Book? Penny is a future Hall of Famer. Book is a President Hall of Shamer. Nah, but I'm pretty sure people will say like, "What's the difference?" They both young, but that ain't it, bro. That ain't it. That is not it. That ain't it, folks. I'm sorry, that is not it. Yeah, we use Taysom Hill. He could get us a easy 4 to 6 wins. Doing what? We were talking about like a tight end or like. You know what I'm saying? Use him as like a little, gadget guy like he's been doing. I agree. I mean, in that regard, I mean, even as a quarterback, he can get you 4 to 6 wins. I'll give him that. Better than Ian Book. Breeze was watching tonight. He was on the phone with DA now. I don't know what for. It's not like our starters or our backup played tonight. Our backup played tonight. And if you want to add Taysom, he was the backup. You know what I'm saying? Shoot. TJ, I just made it in. What were we who were the highlights of the game? I don't know about they have too many highlights, but they had plenty of lowlights. Special teams, Blake Gillikin, Will Lutz 58, 59-yard field goal that he kicked. The 81-yard punt that Blake Gilligan that did. Chris Olave scoring his first touchdown. Trevor Penning playing like 100 times better than he did last week, and he still scored really high on the stat sheet last week. So those were the things. I mean, they had plenty of lowlights. The highlight was the coin toss. Yeah, like the highlight is when the game went off. I was not going to do a show tonight, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. I was not going to do a show tonight. So me being on here as long as I have right now is a little bit of a miracle. But my final thoughts, man, before we get up out of here. First off, everybody go get yourself some rest, man. Enjoy your weekend. Spend some time with your family. You know what I'm saying? Play a little Madden. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you like. This game right here didn't teach me absolutely nothing. It taught me that we got really good special teams players, really good kicker, really good punter. Chris Olave is as advertised. Trevor Penning is starting to improve. I just want preseason to be over. I'm over it, right? I'm over it. Like, let's go ahead and get this game over with. I don't care if they win against the Chargers. I don't care if they lose against the Chargers. Let's just get this game over with. Don't put no starters in the game. Don't put no guys that resemble anything of a starter in the game. The best thing about this, for real, folks, 2 straight weeks in a row, there were no injuries. So that's that, man. Knock on wood. But if any highlights tonight, that was the highlight. Everybody was healthy. All right. So they win in the battle of attrition right now. Don't put no starters in the game next week. Just let that game be over with. If you just so happen to be going to the Charger game, you're probably not going to get no starters. Let's just go ahead and get through the season. I don't feel like this game was any indication of what this team is going to be going into week 1 versus the Atlanta Falcons. I just want preseason to be over. I just want the guys that are young to develop. I don't know what happened with Alontae Taylor tonight. I still didn't see Alontae. I don't know if they're going to hold him out. Him not getting any reps, that can be like a little bit, alarming. And also P. Warner not getting any preseason time, being as young as he is. That's a little bit alarming as well. If he's not playing week 3, at least a couple snaps of a preseason game, maybe the first series, I'll be a little bit concerned. Other than that, that's what I learned from the game, that we got really good special teams. Borg, thank you very much for the 199, says don't jinx it. Well, look, if they don't play, they ain't gonna get hurt. I mean, Dennis Allen cares about what happened in the regular season, and I can respect that. He don't care. I mean, he cares, of course, but he making sure that he take care of his players. That's what I will say. He is really taking care of these players. He's making sure that these guys that are, the stars of the team, the guys that's going to help this team be successful, he making sure that he keeps them under wraps and making sure that these guys aren't playing in the preseason. Because what do you need to find out about a guy like Cam Jordan? Like, what Cam is. And then he also used the 2 days of joint practice with Green Bay. He put his starters out there and he gave these guys some work. So, that's it's not like those guys didn't play. They had their reps against the Green Bay Packers in practice. So there was no need for those guys to get out there. And I know people were making a big deal about Jordan Love and everything like that, but I'm not impressed. You should be able to carve up 3rd string cornerbacks, 4th string cornerbacks. You should be able to do that, okay? If you got any type of talent at all, you should be able to do that. I'm not impressed by that at all, okay? I mean, he made some good throws. You know what I'm saying? He made some good throws, and he did some really good things, but I want to just say pump your brakes, okay? And everybody know, what I'm saying, I got a level of respect for Jordan Love. Obviously, one of the most epic rants of State of the Saints podcast history came because I felt that New Orleans Saints at the time needed to draft Jordan Love over Cesar Ruiz, okay? He made some good throws. I ain't going to lie to you. But for them to make it seem like, this was Mahomes going up against the Legion of Boom defense or something. Like, whoa. Okay, it's good, that he had a game like this to build up his confidence, but let's put this thing into context, right? I mean, he still got some work he needs to do. And when he does play in some of these regular season games, let's just say if Aaron Rodgers has sealed the deal, or the Green Bay Packers have solidified a seeding and they got him in the game, I mean, I ain't really been impressed. So Danny left foot with the 50-yard scamper. Yeah, man, Danny Etling, that probably was the highlight too. I made a joke. I said nobody in Louisiana was upset with that run. Look, everybody was happy. It's preseason. Like, it ain't hurt the team, really. It's good to see Danny Etling make a play, right? I mean, the guy's an LSU legend, and people love Danny Etling. So it was good to see that. Traquan Smith is just a good blocker. Yeah. He's the guy that does the dirty work. The return specialist was actually decent and replaced Esau Winston. I agree. He didn't impress me in the Texan game. That's the reason why he's not with the team anymore. Will Lutz still got it. It's crazy that Ian Book and Kirk Cousins are both fourth-round picks. Yeah, that's crazy, right? Yeah, that is crazy. But the thing about it is, with Kirk Cousins was a talented quarterback coming out of Michigan State. The reason why he dropped so much is because of the little small things. Like, I want to say people made a big deal out of the fact that he was a 4-year starter at Michigan State. He was never awarded captain, something like that. It was like something crazy. Like, they questioned his leadership qualities. But, Mike Shanahan drafted him and he liked him. And he liked him better than RG3. And as time goes on, it seemed like that was a smart decision. I mean, Kirk Cousins, like him or not, he's an average quarterback, in my opinion, but he's still in the league, and RP3 is talking about the league on ESPN. So I know people don't want to talk about it, but Mike Shanahan looked like a prophet in that regard. I mean, some people might say RG3 had injuries and stuff like that, but I mean, at the end of the day, Kirk Cousins is still in the league, and I'm about to say RP3. RG3 is not. TJ, you should be able to do that, especially if you were drafted to take Aaron Rodgers' place. Exactly. I mean, like I said, man, you're doing it against Amazon Prime drivers. You're doing this against 1-800-Flower drivers. You're doing this against, your future mailman. You know what I'm saying? Your future, like, personal trainer. That's what you're doing this against right now. You ain't doing this against nobody that's going to be playing in NFL week 1 at all, right? You carving up extras in a movie. These guys extras, man. What happened to Rashid Shaheed? He was nowhere to be found. I don't know what happened with. I don't know if he heard or not. So I don't know where he at. I don't know what happened. After Shanahan sabotaged RG3 career, then sure. Yeah, I mean, you can look, emails, like, all I know is RG3 isn't in the league anymore, and Kirk Cousins is. All right. And he liked Kirk Cousins more than RG3. RG3, I mean, do I feel like if RG3 didn't have that knee injury, would he still be in the league? Yes, he would have, because the dude was a beast. Like, people can say whatever they want, but that dude, first year, that boy was a beast. His first game that he ever played in the NFL, I remember him carving up the New Orleans Saints. I mean, he destroyed the New Orleans Saints. I mean, it was like this dude was like playing in the league for like 10 years. And then all of a sudden, like, he had that knee injury, and he decided to play. And he shouldn't have played, and he ended up like hurting himself even more. And the rest was history, man. But like I said, man, Kirk Cousins, still in the league, and RG3 is not. I mean, RG3 had other opportunities, but he wasn't able to capitalize on them. I'm still working on it, but I promise you're gonna love it. I was at the game. I'm sorry to hear that. Kevin Williams and I don't know if you're talking about Well, either game, whether it was the Washington game or the Green Bay game tonight, I'm sorry. But thank y'all so much for checking out the State of the Saints podcast, man. The big dog, I'm sorry, the man can't hold on to the ball. He got no hands, and when Winston was throwing to him, he still couldn't catch the ball. He has bad hands since day one and hasn't improved. I don't know if we talking about Traquan Smith or somebody else, but hey, man, I still think he's gonna make the team based on him being, being the guy doing the dirty work. But make sure that you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Make sure that you hit the like button on the way out. All right. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel once again, because let's get the channel, man. My goal is to get the channel to 10,000 subscribers, man, and we on our way. But I need your help. I need your help. All I'm asking you to do is subscribe and hit that like button so we can grow the show, make the show bigger, better. Sorry, everybody had to deal with that game tonight. Saints don't get the victory. They lose to the Green Bay Packers by a score of 20-10. The Saints move on to take on the Los Angeles Chargers inside of the Caesars Superdome for the final game of preseason. The Saints didn't have 3 preseason games last year. They didn't get opportunity to play because of Hurricane Ida. I wish that it was, I wish it was like one of them situations where they didn't have to play the game. Not that a hurricane or a natural disaster happened. I don't want that to happen, but I wish they didn't have to play this game at all, because I feel like it's just a big waste of time. But let's just get this game over with so we can really talk about some football that matters, and we can really just start to get excited about what this team could possibly be going into the 2022 season. Thank you all so much. Have a good morning, noon, night, whenever you're checking out this podcast. And like always, all I got to say is, who dat?